Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Amber Galbiati. Today I'm going to be doing a topic that is something I feel and I cannot explain how much this topic is really important and something I'm very passionate on. And I'm going to be talking about the cycle of abuse and what it looks like, and answering basically what is the cycle of abuse. Some people might not even know that there is a cycle. You might be in the cycle and not even know that you are actually in an abused relationship or situation. So I hope you guys learn a lot from this, and if you guys do like it, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. So the cycle of abuse was founded, the theory was discovered by a man named Lenore E. Walker. This is my cat saying hello. And he discovered that basically different people's relationships who were in an abusive situation, they all had a pattern. And the pattern was discovered, or I shouldn't say discovered, but this theory was made in 1979, and he titled it The Cycle of Abuse. So basically, any abused situation will have this pattern, and usually it has these 3 stages in the cycle of abuse, and it just basically continues in a circle or a cycle. And sometimes people who are in this cycle, they get so lost within it that they feel like they're in a better part of the cycle, and they feel like they're not even in an abuse situation, but they actually are. So I'm going to continue and show you guys what the cycle of abuse looks like and what happens when you're in that cycle of abuse. So basically, the cycle of abuse is broken down into 3 categories. The first one being the tension building phase. This is where the victim feels really uncertain about the abuser's moods. They can tell that the abuser is really in a bad, angry, irritable state, and that they feel like that they have to really be careful with how they treat the abuser, because they don't know if they're going to bite their head off, because they can tell that they're in a very angry state. In the tension building phase, the abuser will generally be really snappy. He or she will pull away from the victim, acting really cold and distant and not loving. Oftentimes the abuser will be very argumentative and yelling or making threats, say, you can't have the car. I'm not going to be giving you X amount of money. I'm not going to be letting you get that new outfit you wanted, or etc., etc. There's these threats being made to scare the victim into place because they are full of anger. So the tension building stage, I just wrote all of these things. Of course, you can go into so much detail. There's really a lot more you could put for the tension building, but this is just to show you guys what my cycle of abuse looks like on paper. And so after the tension building stage, there comes the explosion. Now, the explosion is ugly. It's often filled with very degrading names. It's also filled with yelling, swearing, physical abuse. There's often property being damaged and smashed into pieces or just taken away. Children are even part of this. Children can be treated in a bad way to punish you, the victim, for what you did wrong in the abuser's mind. Or pets can be hurt. An abuser will even go as far as hurting a pet just so that you see how angry they are and what you in their minds did to make them that mad that your pet deserves to be treated like that. It's really sad. So after the explosion has taken place, and there will be a calm after the explosion, and then there will be the honeymoon phase in the cycle of abuse. So the honeymoon phase, it definitely looks like remorse coming from the abuser, but it really isn't genuine. It's more of like, oh wow, like she or he is gonna leave me and I need to do whatever I can to stop them because they won't be in my control and they won't be in my power, which that's what the abuser's core, that's what they want. So in the center of this cycle of abuse for the victim, it will generally always be denial, because you don't want to believe that about someone that you love or somebody that you've been in a relationship with for so long. But at the core of the abuser, it is control and power, because that is their number one desire over their victim or their victims. So they definitely do a lot in the honeymoon stage to get the victim to stay. So they will buy gifts, they will make promises, they will go to counseling, they will, they will pick up on the slack of home chores, or they will go get a job, they will pay all your bills off, or whatever it is that would make you really happy and make you kind of just forget about the explosion that they just had, and that really made you emotionally and physically sick and upset. They will do whatever they can in that honeymoon phase to just get you back on their path of control and power over you, because that's exactly what they want. They want you under their thumb. This cycle will just continue to go in a circle as long as you let it. This cycle of abuse will not stop from the abuser. Generally, there's no need for the abuser to stop, because the abuser has what they want, the control and the power. So unless the victim decides to break out of this cycle, most likely this cycle will just continue as long as, they're in that situation. As long as they're accepting it, there is no reason for that abuser to either stop or to just be left alone from that victim. So it's something that really needs to be brought to people's attention, that there is nice parts of the abuser. The abuser won't always be the tension building and the explosion. And usually the longer you are with a partner, the honeymoon stage of the cycle of abuse will get less and less and less, until some people who are in abused relationships don't even have the honeymoon situation, and it just goes back from tension building to that explosion, and it will just keep bouncing back and forth like a yo-yo, and there will be no sense of happiness or joy.